You took the words right out of my mouth. Just start off singing fucking Meatloaf. Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. On the last episode, we started a game with one of our former senpais. And on this episode, we are going to do the game and whatever the hell else that has to offer. Yeah. I have to admit, I'm excited at the idea of playing against Murasaki Senpai again after so many years. I can't wait to see how much he's changed since going pro. Once the ball is in play, focus on it. Only on it to Jesus. Fucking pumping, jumping. Focus only on it and on my opponent. I toss the ball high into the air and bring it down on my racket to meet it, putting as much power into it as I can. The feeling of the ball leaving the racket was great. This might just be one of my best serves in a while. While I fully expected to get an ace of it, Murasaki Senpai quickly reaches the ball before it can leave the court. Be looking out for the timed choices in this game? Well, that's gonna be shit, because I'll be like, oh, it's a choice. I gotta fucking wait to see if what y'all think of it. But then I'll be like, I can't, because I gotta fucking, Jesus. He doesn't waste time being timid and immediately goes on the offensive, sending a powerful return to attack my serve. The ball bounces right on my back line, forcing me to move back a few steps. The resulting motion leaves my posture out of whack, making my shot slow. Before I notice it, Murasaki Senpai dashes towards the net. No, that's not quite right. He was already on the net before I even hit the ball back. How'd he get there so fast? He volleys the ball with force. And he got me. He got me. I'm not even halfway through the court when the ball hits the ground and rolls away. 15-0. You cocky son of a bitch. Whew, that was a pretty wild serve. I have to say the word wild part. Did you hear I have to say the wild part in English? I mean, it's all in English, so the translation doesn't really work. Even though I hit the ball with everything I had, he easily returned it with the worst possible spot. Not only that, he reached the net before I even noticed he had moved. His movement is completely different from 3 years ago, and the quality of his shots has improved a considerable amount. This might have just been luck, but... Yo, Rutherford, you there? Yeah, sorry. Crap, I was spacing out and didn't hear him call me. Play resumes on my court. Brrr. This time I go for a slice that quickly escapes to the side of the court. Oh, Jesus. As if anticipating it, Murasaki Senpai does a quick sideways jump and meets the ball right in the center of his racket. His return paints the line on the opposite side of the court. How am I supposed to use my serve advantage when he's already countering my serve? I make a mad dash for the ball, barely managing to tap it. When did his shots become so heavy? I'm having a hard time just getting the ball to go over the net. If it keeps going like this, I'm bound to end up making a mistake. Wait, he's already at the net again? When did he... Senpai taps the ball lightly. A drop volley. Damn! In the end, I never had a chance to reach the ball before it bounced twice. 30-0. I can't accept it. I can't do anything against him on my serve game? That's ridiculous! I try putting as much topspin as I can on my next serve. As soon as the ball rises, it should spin out of control, making it shoot up higher than normal. If he can't adapt his swing, he'll miss the perfect shot point of impact. And even if he sees it coming, he'll have to move further back, giving me an opportunity to attack. At least that's what should happen. As if he realizes what I'm doing, Senpai immediately dashes to the point where the ball bounces on the court, hitting it right as it rises from the ground, before it has a chance to properly bounce. A rising shot is such a difficult shot to make. Even Kei-kun, the most skillful player on the club, can't hit those properly. Yet this guy, Senpai hits it easily, sending the ball back to me. Still, this wasn't a perfect return by any means. The ball lacks power when compared to his regular ground strokes. The ball hits the ground a little short of his baseline. I can reach it. I try hitting a straight shot with as much power as I can. What I lack in control I can make up with pure firepower. Even if I can't put it into a different position, as long as I can stop him from coming to the net, I have a chance. Senpai has always been weak in his baseline game, even more so than the regular serve and volley player. As long as I can keep him anchored to the baseline, I should have a chance. Senpai reaches my ball easily and has ample time to prepare. He hits it with a full swing, sending it to the other side of the court. The ball is going unbelievably fast. I can barely keep up with it. Somehow, I manage to reach it. The very tip of my racket makes contact, and the racket is blown out of my grip. What? So much power! Senpai's always had a decent bit of upper body strength, but nothing like this. This is seriously bad. I can't even think of ways to deal with it. Volley, power, speed, control, technique, he far outclasses me in every single one of those. And I haven't even seen him in his serve game. I can't accept being beaten like this. Hey, Schooner, you ready yet? It's time to resume play. Crap, I'm spacing out again. Keep it together. Feeling defeated right at the beginning of the game doesn't help. Just take deep breaths. That's it, calm down. He's got me so worked up this quickly. I prepare another serve. Slice, topspin, flat. He's received every single one of my best serves without any trouble. Since there isn't anything that stands out as a best option, I'll go with my personal best. Flat. I hit the ball with everything I have. This is without a doubt the fastest serve I can pull off. The ball must be going at least 190 kilometers an hour. Jesus. There's no way he can reach it easily. He does. Senpai manages to send the ball back. I can tell from his stance that the shot can't possibly have as much power as the last one. He didn't have time to make a good swing. Against this weakened shot that is going towards my forehand, I immediately prepare to counter it. I concentrate every ounce of my strength on sending the ball right to the top of the line, on the side of the court opposite from where Senpai is right now. By all means, that should be the best option. He shouldn't reach. And yet, the little voice in the back of my head tells me to prepare. Not only is he going to reach it, but he's going to send a strong ball back right at me. Left or right. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Bring it! I catch myself screaming from the top of my lungs before I even realize that I got this worked up. I don't even care if I looked lame. I just don't want to lose. No matter what happens, I absolutely don't want to lose. Somehow, he managed to reach my best shot with absolute ease. If it's going to be like this, then I need to make sure he can't go towards the net. If he reaches the net, it's game over. That's what my instincts are telling me right now. I have to exert myself to reach the ball. I jump towards it, nearly losing my footing as I do so, but I manage to hit the ball back with some semblance of power. As long as I make it strong enough, he shouldn't have an opportunity to dash towards the net. Senpai reaches it. I immediately start running towards the center of the court so as to reach the ball regardless of his shooting it left or right. He tapped it! Crap, a drop shot! The fuck was that? Oh, it was the door, okay. A perfect shot to take advantage of my momentary loss of focus. His stance didn't give away what he was going to do until the ball left the racket. For a fraction of a second, I'm rooted to this spot. Damn it, legs, move! I direct all of my energy to my legs and make a mad run for it. I jump towards the ball, hitting the ground with my chest. Shit, this hurts like hell. Still, I managed to miraculously tap the ball right before it hits the ground. The ball goes up just enough to go over the net, relax for only just a second, then a towering orange figure eclipses my vision. He knew all along I'd reach it, so he made his way to the net. I'm left defenseless as he hits the ball right over my head to take the point. There you go, game won by me, 1-0. He flashes me a goofy smile. I feel anger surging inside, most of it directed at me. It takes every ounce of self-restraint I have not to lash out. Somehow I'm dimly aware that I'm baring my fangs. Senpai notices the look in my face. Of course he does, how wouldn't he? He shifts around in his spot and glares back at me with such intensity that I feel like I'm being shot dead. He has this very smug smile on his face, as if he's enjoying seeing me like this. It's It's enough to make me freeze on the spot. Oh, I like that look on your face, Rutherford-kun. Okay then, I'll play seriously now. Let's see if you can entertain me for a little bit. I'm completely dominated during his serve games. I can't even properly return the balls at first, and he scores many aces off of it. Near the end of the match, I realized that I didn't even get a single point during the whole thing. Yay, 6-0. I win. Better luck next time, Hayes-kun. Senpai walks away laughing. I clench my fist in frustration. My claws threaten to puncture the palm of my hands. It didn't take him 10 minutes to completely dispose of me as if I were garbage. This is so frustrating. Hey, son. Keisuke taps me on the shoulder. Looks like you didn't fare any better than I did. Yeah. Did you even manage to score a single point? No, not once. Ah, so frustrating. Keiku nods. I wonder what the rank is in the World League. If I find out that they're in the 700s or something like that, I'll lose it. I know what you mean. But don't worry, last I checked, Morisaki-senpai was number 421. Well, that makes me feel a little better, at least. Let's try to win at least one set by the end of our game. By the end of the game. Right. Keiken lifts his hand up high, and we share a high five. Alright, I'm feeling pumped again. Huh? Jun-kun is fidgeting uncomfortably at a nearby corner. It's true, he's been watching me this whole time. Did I scare him? I really need to get a grip. It won't do me any good if I'm so angry that I can't think straight. Oh, are you ready? I turn around and see Sasaki-san standing behind me, holding his racket in hand. His clothes barely have any sweat on them. It's as if the set just now barely even winded him. Which, considering how short it was, it probably didn't. We didn't even need to take breaks during the whole thing. The Link smiles, and by that I mean the corners of his mouth barely curve a little bit upwards. I saw a bit of your match. You're an interesting player. I didn't think a high schooler was capable of making Morisaki play seriously. This might be a decent learning experience. With no other words, he began walking towards one of the empty courts. It took me a few seconds to react and follow behind him. Once we both took our positions, Sasaki-san grabbed a couple of balls and waved at me. I'll take service if you don't mind. Since you already started with the serve last match, I'm sure you'll be okay with it, right? The guy's a little pushy, ain't he? But I guess I'll let this one pass. After the last match, I think I prefer having him take the first serve. I'm afraid of thinking about the psychological damage that's getting broken on the first game would cause. It would be better to serve seconds so as to lower my expectations on this match. Or maybe I'm being too timid? No, this is fine. I should take this chance to see how he plays. Genma-san picks up a ball in his pocket and starts bouncing it on the court. After a few bounces, he gripped the ball tightly in his hand and focused on me. Something about the way he looked at me made me uncomfortable. It's like he's analyzing me, just looking for a weakness. It makes me feel uneasy. He tossed the ball high into the air and slammed his racket against it. It's fast, really fast. Not at the same level of Morisaki-senpai, but it might just be faster than mine. I reached the ball with little difficulty and hit it back to him. Unfortunately, my return was shallow, and the Lynx wasted no time in attacking it. 15-0. You'll have to do better than that if you want to take a point from me. He said it with a smile on his face. This guy pisses me off. By the end of the 20th set, I couldn't even keep myself standing. It took us over 3 hours to get it all done, with only a few minimal breaks here or there. And even then, when you consider how many sets it was, it should have definitely taken much longer. That's how overwhelmed we were. As soon as the last point was scored, I dropped to the floor, unable to keep myself standing. Even scoring a single point was hard. The best I could do was to get 2 games against Morisaki-senpai. The girls, on the other hand, did a lot better than us. So I even managed to take a set from one of her opponents. Kobayashi stood over me, looking at me with worry. Are you alright? Maybe I should get the nurse. I'm fine. The only thing broken right now is my pride. I forced myself to stand up again, heaving heavily from exertion. It's been a while since I've been so thoroughly beaten like that. It's incredibly frustrating, but it also feels refreshing somehow. I can't even remember when the last time, when I last felt so completely useless. Suddenly there was a small wall ahead of me whose limits I couldn't even see. Instead of feeling discouraged, I felt a sudden burst of excitement.
Well, I guess you had fun then, all things considered. Kinda made me wish I could play tennis too.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed watching us. I'm still awed by the distance Morisaki-senpai managed to put between us and these 2 years. Just how did he manage to get so better? Steroids! No, I don't fucking know. How you feeling, Hayes-kun? Mostly frustrated, but, you know, these kinds of things are good too. Once in a while. Changed a lot, you know. I guess I did change a little. Things are a lot tougher in America than I thought they'd be. But I was pretty confident in myself when I first got there, but I was quickly mowed down by them. To be honest, there are currently 12 guys in our tennis program, and I'm the weakest of them all. That's a depressing thought. Still, I'm the one that's surprised. I was pretty disappointed when we played our first set, you know. Sorry. I guess I didn't quite live up to your expectations. Senpai gasped and started frantically waving his arms in denial. No, that's not what I meant. Well, it's true that I was expecting you to be much better, but to be honest, it's scary how much you've improved over the day. You got used to my speed in a flash. By the end of the last set, I was actually struggling to score. Really? Didn't feel like he was struggling at all. I guess we'll have to see how things go over the week. Morisaki-senpai was surprised, as if he finally realized he hadn't said a word about it yet. I'm glad we agreed to Mikado-san's idea. It's been so long since I've been to Japan, and still a bit jet-lagged from the trip. You imagine how tough it'd be if I played in the tournament feeling like this? How do you think you'll fare in the competition? I'm not too sure. The prize is pretty big, and it's worth quite a lot of points, so I'm sure it's attracted quite a lot of higher-ranked folks. And I still need to take part in the qualifiers, after all. Kaito, hurry up already. The van's already here to pick us up. Sasaki-san shouts from the entrance. Sorry to cut this short, Rutherford. See you tomorrow. See ya. I wave the two goodbye as they leave our building.
You guys look like you get along pretty well.
I nod. Morisaki-senpai used to be the club's captain when I first joined the school.
That explains it.
By the way, Kobayashi, Jun had followed me into the locker room.
Just Jun is okay. Feels a bit pointless to be so formal since we're going to be seeing each other every day.
Okay. If I can have an excuse to drop all this stiff deference, then, deference? I don't know. Then I have no reason not to. Was it fun? Feel like it was worth coming?
Yeah, looked like a lot of fun. The white hair felt like he was an amazing player, even though half the time I had no idea what he was doing.
His name is Keisuke. You're right about him being an awesome player. Not very physically imposing, but he's very skillful and fast. That's why I hate playing against him. He just makes me run all over the place, and it's a chore. Jun follows me all the way to the locker room. I feel like he already said that. I don't know. I put my bag on the bench next to my locker, and I sit next to it, picking up my towel from inside it. My legs are hurting so much that going home might be a problem. I start taking off my clothes upon seeing this. Junku makes a weird noise and turns his back on me.
Anyway, Rutherford-san, it was really fun watching you play. I think I might come cheer for you in the next tournament.
Really? Thanks. That'd be appreciated. I finish toweling myself off, and I spray myself with a strong deodorant. Since I don't feel like showering at school, I'll at least make sure I don't stink of sweat. You can turn back around now. Jun glances over my way before turning around slowly.
Sure, I'll come. You could also come to my piano competition if you want.
If I didn't have good hearing, I would have probably missed that last part. A piano competition. Those are a thing? Junku nods a little more confidently.
Yes, they're a pretty big thing in Japan. You can gain scholarships for big-name schools if you do well on those. Actually, I used to participate a lot when I was a kid, but anyway, I'd like it if you could come.
Sure. If I don't have a game schedule for the day of your competition, I'll go. I'm at least a little bit interested after all.
Well, I've got to get going anyway. Thank you very much for bringing me over. See you tomorrow.
See ya. I leaned against one of the lockers, letting my body get some rest. My whole body is sore. It's been a while since I've worked this hard. Oh shit. He's upset. From the corner of my eye, I see Keikun entering the locker room and heading towards his locker. Damn it! He punches his locker with full force, leaving a dent on the metal. Keikun turns towards me, his face completely warped in anger. That damn Lynx, that guy is so cocky! What happened? He seemed pretty nice to me. Also, no, he didn't. Guy was a douche. He came up to me after the last match and said, if that's how far you can go, then you should forget about placing in a national competition. Who the hell does he think he is? Damn it! Did he really say that? Also, spare the porn locker. Did do anything? It's a horrible thing to say, no matter how true it might be. Yeah, he did. I know I'm not good enough. I know that! He didn't have to say it. I grab Keisuke's arm before he punches the locker a third time. Alright, stop right there. I get that you're angry, but you really need to calm down. Punching things won't solve anything. What would you do if you severely injured your hand, you idiot? Sit. Sit! Yes! Good, he's not resisting as much anymore. I kneeled down in front of him, gently inspecting his hand in search of any injuries. It's fine, just leave it be. Keikun tries to push my hands away, but I make sure to hold on to him firmly. That's when I see a big cut between his ring finger and his pinky. Without hesitation, I press into it as hard as I can. Ow! What's the big idea? This? I press the injury one more time, making him squirm. This is not fine. I'll pick up the first aid kit and treat your wound. You sit there and don't you dare move. What was with the clothes there for a second? What the fuck is this carnival music? Even though he seemed annoyed at my orders, he made no effort to get up. At least he's obedient. Looking at his locker, I can see 2 dents on it. Looks like one of his punches was right at the edge of the locker. Of course he would ended up cutting himself. Takes a bit of work, but I make sure his wound is cleaned up and disinfected properly. There. The cut is big, but I don't think it'll need bandaging. It'll probably be sore for a while, so be careful. Thank you, yes? I'm sorry I yelled at you. I shouldn't have lost my temper. All you were doing was trying to help me. Don't worry about it. It was interesting, though. That was the first time I'd ever seen you angry. Yeah, not my finest moment right there, I'll admit. Still, thank you for taking such good care of me. I'd be lying if I said I didn't understand how you feel. I don't think I'm not frustrated at the whole thing either. Maybe we should have a strategy meeting and think up ways to beat him. That's... Keikun freezes mid-sentence. Actually, a great idea. You've adapted to them the fastest. Perhaps you can give me some insight into what I can do. Huh? I was just joking. Alright, it's settled then. I'll buy you some ice cream. What, if anything, does that have to do with finding ways to beat them? Keikun, I don't think... Oh, shut up. I want to thank you for today. Ah, so that's what this is about. You could stand to be a little more honest. Keikun takes off his shirt to get changed, though he quickly freezes when his shirt gets close to his nose. Ugh, there's no way I can get away without a shower. Let's go, Rutherford-san. No, I'm already set. I'm pointing to the bottle of deodorant spray on the bench. Really? You think that's acceptable? Well, yeah, it's been enough so far. Do you have any idea how much we sweat today? I'm not going out with a guy that smells like a pile of rancid clothes. Can't you be a little less fussy? I'm already taking you out. The least you could do is shower. You never even asked me if I wanted to be taken out. Fine, fine, get off my tail. I fish for a towel in my bag and start undressing. Keikun does the same behind me. I still hate being undressed in front of other people. I wrap myself in a towel before taking off my underwear and quickly make my way to the shower. And how does this shower go? We'll find out in the next episode of Tennis Ace. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I have to take my dog out. God damn it, my life sucks. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, fare thee well. Bye, everyone. Bye.